Hello YouTube, Flashlight Enthusiast here. If you remember my review of the Sofirn SC33, you might remember that this is one of my favorite new Sofirn in their collection. Not only does it feature a quite nice compact form factor, a good output of almost 5000 lumens, but also some neat, good looking form that is a great combination of EDC and tactical utilities. So it happens that I got my hands on the SC28, the smaller brother of the SC33 with slightly less output but also some tactical heritage in its design. So this is what I like about Sofirn, although it is a budget brand, they still care about the first impression and the quality of the package. It's just superb for the price. Not only does it protect the flashlight well in transportation, but also does look good at premium. This is kind of nice. I got this one from Sofirn directly, stay for my honest opinion about the Sofirn SC28. This version is by far available only at Amazon store from Sofirn, and if you are interested there will be a link down in the description below so you can check it out. Inside the package you'll find a bunch of accessories, including a multi-language SC28 manual, a medium-length USB to USB-C charging cable, some standard lanyard and 2 spare O-rings in case you need a replacement. Last but not least, your flashlight with some orange labeling reminding you to take off the insulation from the battery compartment. So let's do it, shall we? I forgot to show you, but Sofirn even printed some specs on the back of the package, so I don't have to read the manual for you. Great! So yes, you can clearly tell that the SC33, the bigger brother, was some inspiration in construction of the SC28. Surprisingly, it features the same battery size, however look how much bulkier the SC33 is. Both of them feature a single tail switch, however the bigger brother has its electronic version, but the 28 is the physical one. Also, we've got rid of some orange pill reflector instead of nice TIR optics in the newer model. So let's see what's the design of the SC28. So at the first glance you can tell that this is more like EDC but tactical version. So you've got a single tail switch, the rubbered one, classic appearance of tactical flashlights. Then you've got aggressive knurling, so you can have a good grip even if gloves or wet hands. It is quite aggressive, mind you, and if you try to clip it with this included pocket clip to your jeans, for example, you might risk tearing your pocket actually because it's so sharp. The pocket clip is nice, good retention here, and as you can see it is also single direction. Here on the head you've got the Sofirn SC28 engraving and some cool battery indicator here. So we've got standard Sofirn pattern of 3 different stages. So we've got green above 30%, red about between 10 and 30, and blinking red for below 10%. Here there are some cooling fins, but they do not do much, and on the opposite side you've got nice USB-C charging port covered by this thick rubber cover. Sits quite tightly, no water tightness intrusion should be possible here. The charging, as you can see right now on the screen, is quite fast. When you unplug the charger when the switch is on, the flashlight will automatically turn on. At the head portion we've got single aluminum piece, so glass breaking maybe it's not the best option here, however the optics looks quite well. It is covered by glass, and as you can see it has some anti-reflective coating, and basically these kind of optics will give you really wide coverage without much spill, as you will see in the Beamshots section after a couple of minutes. On the back of the flashlight we've got single physical switch and 2 lanyard attachments. I have to admit that these kind of attachments will affect your tail standing ability, which is by far quite stable. So it is a little bit pity for those a little less experienced, there is engraving about the polarity of the battery, and if you unscrew the tail cap, you will uncover a nice set of threads, square ones with O-ring, well lubricated from the factory. The spring also looks quite clean, standard from this manufacturer, and there is also included battery. This is the highest capacity on the market, 21700 quality battery. It is flat top, so no worries about using your own batteries. Fortunately, no proprietary design here. And there's a spring down there as well, so some shock recoil should be resisted. So as you can see, you can remove the tube from the head side. As you can see, you can reverse the tube, so you can have your bezel up carry as well. So Sofirn warned me that the UI is their own design, so it might be a little bit complicated, but first things first that I have to complain about is the switch actually. It is so mushy and light that here I can definitely feel that the quality is not the highest. The rest of the flashlight is really top notch. However, I would like the switch to be slightly harder under my finger and not to give up on slight pressure on the sides that gives you this cheap rubber impression. Pity. So, going through the UI real quick, we've got 3 different groups, and there is this weird blink in when you turn on the flashlight after a couple of seconds that will give you a chance to change the group that you're in. Note that you have just single physical switch to choose different modes, so basically you've got your momentary illumination. Once you depress the tail switch, the output will go. Then you can fully click to turn the flashlight on fully, and then you can either click again to advance to the next mode, or do it in the momentary fashion, not clicking fully. So it goes like this. So in case you want to change the UI group, you need to turn on the flashlight and wait for this blink, and then quickly turn it on and off. 2 blinks will tell you that you advance to the next group. So basically now we've got turbo, strobe and medium mode, and then when you wait for another blink and click it again, we've got our low, medium and high. So again, waiting for the blink and going to the main group, which has 5 different brightness. So this is definitely not that hard to learn. However, I missed some shortcuts to strobe mode or turbo output that were present on some workers. For instance, when you press it half and then fully, then there were shortcuts for turbo mode or strobe mode, for instance. It's not present here, and the lockout function is obviously available only when you unscrew the bezel, and then it's safe to put in your pocket or backpack without accidental activation risk. Here are my Lumen measurements of the Sofirn SC28. If you need more time, feel free to pause the video. Alright, so here is the turbo runtime graph of the Sofirn SC28. As you can see, I did not measure any close to rated 2800 lumens, but rather slightly higher than 2300 lumens. And surprisingly enough, we don't have any turbo runtime, but it's like momentary because it steps down only after 12 seconds. To around 1144 lumen levels, and then it stays at that level for over 3 minutes, and then another step down occurs from around 1091 lumens to around 564 lumen level. Then as you can see, we've got quite nice, almost flat output regulation, so definitely way more than zigzag patterns seen for instance in Sofirn IF23 that I reviewed recently. We've got nice runtime of over 3 hours, and then the flashlight will not leave you in the dark, but rather step down to the lowest output and then go for ages. Flashlight body stabilized at 43 degrees Celsius, so quite warm, but definitely not too hot. So in high mode, we can see some definitely way better performance, around 1100 lumens over the course of 3 minutes and 36 seconds, before a slow step down over the course of 60 seconds around 564 lumen level. We can see a pattern here, pretty precise one actually. The simple glitch at the beginning of the runtime that you can see It's just this blink after 5 seconds of operation to indicate that you can change the group of UI. And again, as you can see, pretty nice output regulation, slightly decreasing over time, but you won't be able to see it with your naked eye. We've got a really nice over 3-hour runtime, and the flashlight body stabilizes at 41 degrees Celsius. Last but not least, I also checked the medium mode, so 324 lumen levels and a nice stable runtime of 5 hours and 31 minutes before flashlight starts to step down to lower modes, not to leave you in dark. Flashlight body stabilized at 31 degrees Celsius, so I have to say that using this XHP50.2 HD emitter that's requiring a 6-volt driver really gives you this nice long runtime but also stable output. Good work, Sofirn here. I wish the turbo performance was a little bit better though. When it comes to beamshot comparison, let me compare the Sofirn SC28. Obviously to its bigger brother with higher output but also quite bigger size. Quite similar yet smaller and less powerful Urka's TD02. Last but not least, something much more premium and powerful, the Defender P17 from Acebeam. So we've got 3 budget flashlights and 1 premium, with SC28 being just in the middle of output. So let's see how the beam pattern output compares in the forest. So, here are my final thoughts of the Sofirn SC28. It is definitely a neat and well-built flashlight, especially for this price. As always from Sofirn Grey, you get great quality to price ratio, and overall fit and finish is just excellent. I like the simple utilitarian design with obvious features like USB-C or standard battery, as well as convenient battery indicator and good beam pattern suitable for the application. I just wish the UI was a little bit less complicated, and this blink after a couple of seconds to indicate the change of group is really quite disturbing, and I cannot imagine it using tactical scenario. Maybe an indication of the battery indicator LED would be a little bit more discreet. And I also feel that the turbo performance in this particular flashlight is a little bit too conservative in my view. It's just wasting the potential of this heavy aluminum head that could simply sustain the turbo output a little bit longer, giving you this wide illumination with this beautiful optics to cover wide area in front of you. Let's face it, 12 seconds is really too short to have fun of this 25-ish 100 lumens. However, in other modes performance is solid. You get quite solid runtimes on included 21700L, and charging does not take forever. So while the SC28 might not be the excellent model, I'll definitely give it a solid good mark, well deserved. If you enjoyed the video, consider hitting the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, make sure not to miss any future videos that I release. If you have any questions or comments about the SC28, don't forget to leave your remarks below the video. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you in the next one.